So welcome to day 129 of scaling my marketing agency to 10k a month. Today is a big day in terms of what you would have seen from the last videos is that the past 2 days in particular have been the most challenging 2 days, or specifically yesterday for Friday was probably the most challenging day of my kind of entrepreneurial journey so far in terms of the just pure emotions of what I was feeling, the anxiety, some of the mental health issues that it raised, some of the realizations around like my support system and not wanting to feel that and putting them under so much stress because of the fact that I'm not doing the things that I should be for myself to help myself. It's like, wow, all of that came together at once to be like, okay, like I've got to do something about this, something needs to change, and therefore, yeah, I need to take the steps required to do that. And I shouldn't be thinking of it in the case of, or from the viewpoint of, I'm really fucked up, I've got to sort this out, and it add to that existing stress. It should be more liberating of saying, look, like, give yourself a break for a second, give yourself an allowance of understanding that this has happened and that, you know, essentially you can only go up, and that, like, that's what you're going to do, and you're going to find the right. Where one of my best friends goes to uni, and I haven't seen him in a very long time, haven't ever been to Reading in my life. It's a lovely place, by the way. I'm here as we're speaking, or as I'm speaking, as I'm recording the video. And yeah, really lovely place. Essentially what happened was that I got a train I left my girlfriend's house about 10 a.m. I then got to Reading by about midday, and then went round all town, showed me all of the town. We had like a spoons lunch. We then went to the campus, showed me around the campus, lovely campus. Then his his uni room and a comm, and chilled there for a bit, and then went to the shop to get some extra food that we wanted. We then ended up getting a takeaway at Domino's, then ended up getting just eating that, chilling out for a bit longer. It then became into like the evening, like 8, 10 o'clock, stuff like that, which actually led to it being quite late, and they essentially his best mate there in his flat with him, really lovely guy. They were watching the I can't even speak. The MMA, like the UFC. I'm tired, and the reason why that's the case is because it's now 6 a.m, about 6:30, and I haven't slept essentially since yesterday when I woke up at around 6. So I've been up about 24 hours, and I won't sleep now until probably tonight or later into this afternoon. Try and make a good plan for myself essentially on moving forward and how this works and everything like that essentially. But I feel quite liberated in terms of, it's not because I'm here physically in a new location, like always trying to escape my problems, but it's that addition of I'm actively doing things to make my mental health better, and this has been a good enough reset for me to now do the work in terms of, going back to his accommodation now before I get my train back to Birmingham around 10 o'clock, so in a few hours' time. And during that period, in between that time, I can be working on, for one, uploading these videos, for two, thinking about how to go forward and how to make everything better from here, and what support and guidance and things essentially that I can do to get to the next level in my journey, because it's been essentially, like, holistically, if I'm viewing everything, it's been kind of like 9 months of pure grind and just brute force attack at this business. I started it back in August when I'd just come off the back of 6 months before that being in terrible kind of situation with anxiety, again, well, really depressed as well, ending up doing a lot of therapy and realising that university wasn't for me because I didn't feel fulfilled. Of course not, you're just at uni, it's just kind of a, you shouldn't feel fulfilled just going to uni, but I didn't feel like it was leading me to that path either. I think that was the thing, and it wasn't leading me to kind of the future and progress of things in general that I wanted to do and be in that situation. And therefore I made a decision, which I'm really proud of myself for, which is that I can't sit about, be depressed and let this be my life. So if I don't believe that, like, fundamentally this is the right decision for me or I'm on the right path, then I shouldn't just stop it. I need to find out a answer in terms of what can I do instead, and it be solid enough as a plan to then actually do that. I don't know what that is. To actually undertake that plan and do it. So then that's when I came up with the idea for the business, learnt more about that, ended up going with my mentor, him teaching me loads, going into the rest of the year, into September, October time, moving to Leamington, getting a job, having complete financial independence for the first time in my life, then sorting all of that out, getting the job at Audi in November, just brute force 20-25 hours a week while I'm trying to build this business and everything about it, and working extremely hard going into this year, having obviously like a single kind of form or source of like from the start of this year, even with the New Year's resolutions, no kind of like alcohol, no like any of that, trying to remove any kind of external stimuli except from pure focus on the business. And so I did that, I did the brute force. It's now coming into the 5th month of this year where things have proven themselves in March, in April, getting consistent higher ticket sales, and it's a case of now I just need, so the SD card went, but now, as I was saying, it's now the time to rebrand myself into becoming a person that doesn't need to brute force or be like horrible to myself to push me to do the next thing. Like at the minute, I succeeded in making this my full-time job, and as much as it's not like full-time income yet, it's what I'm working on full-time. I'm working on my dream 7 days a week, and that on its own is amazing, and it's an amazing achievement ultimately, and I'm extremely happy about that, grateful and proud of myself for doing it. As my mentor was kind of saying to me, like, I am experiencing essentially I'm experiencing the fruits of my labour in terms of having multiple clients on, having those stresses, having the things to solve, having to work on the business 7 days a week because I'm not having to work on anything else. So, like, these are all amazing things that I never had the opportunity to do or be or whatever before. And so, just incredibly grateful for that. Looking forward to the video that I'll record for the end of today, talking more about me having a set plan in place for how I do that and how I get to the next level. So, if that means taking external help with things like therapy and stuff like that to support my mental health, then it's exactly the same as taking business consulting or coaching or whatever, because if I've built myself up to be over the last year and a half, even 2 years, 3 years, going into when all this anxiety started during exam seasons and trying to go through the process of getting into Cambridge, stuff like that, then yeah, essentially what it means is that I kind of have to undo that and build myself back better and get the business into a better position. So really excited for the next few months and years while I'm on this journey. And there's been a lot of ups and, as you've seen, some really, really low lows, but everything is on an upwards trajectory here, so really happy with everything.